All right, and welcome to the youth live stream. I thought I'd try something a little bit new, a little bit different when it came to the VeggieTales theme and trying. Hey, Abby, glad that you are here. It was a little bit of a different take. It didn't go over that well with the youth that is in my house, but I'm just going to experiment. We're just going to try to make it happen, right? And so I'm glad that you are here. I was inspired today. I was having a conversation with a friend, and um, I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine, and they were just going through a lot right now. And it's one of those things where when you're teaching, and if you're one of my youth, and you probably heard this before, but when you're teaching and you teach about certain experiences and you teach about certain things, it's easy as a teacher to come across as the expert, or coming across in a way where you're saying, like, I don't struggle with this, but watch out because this could happen. And, one of the things that I've been talking about this whole time, especially with this stay at home order and everything going on. Um, oh, is Ellie on? Ellie, if you are here. I thought you said Ellie, my friend. Oh, it's L-O. Oh, okay. I got excited. I was like, hey, who knows what's going on? All right. But um, One of the things that's easy to do is to sound, to sound like you're the expert. And in the middle of all of this stuff, and with the changes that are going on, and even some of the things that are happening, one of the things that's easy to say, and one of the things that, not, I guess, easy to say, but one of the things we've talked about, but is just this idea of what's going to happen with us when we're in this, while we're in this quarantine, while we're in this time in regards to what God is inviting us to do. And you know, it's been kind of a blessing, in some ways, for us to have this time where we can be together and to do this stuff. And I'm sorry, I am thrown off by how massive my microphone looks right now compared to everything, and it's not really, I don't even think that big. But one of the things that I find, it has been refreshing, has just been this idea of rest, and this idea of having this time to really focus on what God wants us to do and what we're doing and what's happening right now. But also, I think that, what God is inviting us to do. But one of the things that can be difficult is how that looks in the long term. And I say that for a number of different reasons, because one, when you're in the long term and you're doing this and you're going through these things, and you may be noticing things about yourself that you don't know, that maybe you didn't realize, or things like that, and you're thinking, wow, I didn't realize that I felt a certain way, or when I'm in seclusion, I tend to go like this, or when, in my case, it's been things like, when I've had no distractions, or things and I've had time to just sit and focus and take advantage of this time. Holy cow, there's more stuff that I have to work on than I realize I have to work on. And what happens is there reaches a point where you're like, wow, this is great, this is awesome that I have this time. And then it almost reaches a point of becoming like a cave, if you will. And I say that because, dude, I don't know what's going on there. Hold on a second, let me see if I can fix that. I didn't think I had reverb. Hold on a second. Let me try to take care of that. Hold on. Does that sound better? Is that sounding a little better? Let's give that a try. Is that sounding a little better? It sounds a little bit better on my end. A little bit. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on here, because not sure what the plan is with that. Okay, but we'll give it a shot, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it my best. It sounded normal when I first started. All right, well, we'll have to see. Hold on a second. See what I can do here. Well, I'm not sure how to go about approaching that and changing that. I'm just going to do the best I can, and hopefully we can endure with that. So, and then I'll have to take a look. Okay, cool. All right, so and maybe it wasn't the reverb. Maybe it's just we're gonna have to reposition the old microphone a little bit. Hold on. Maybe it sounds a little better if I go like this. All right, maybe. Okay, keep going. Here we go. All right, so here's what's going to happen. We're in this place, and it almost becomes like a cave. And the reason why I got inspired by this was talking with a friend who was going through a lot, and then they said, I could really look for a cave to go in right now. And one of the things that I was thinking about was just this idea of, like, and my mind just started to go, and I started thinking about caves and hibernation and all this stuff, and everything that was happening. But here's the reality of it. Right now, in a way, we're in a cave of sorts, I would say. We're in a cave of sorts, and we are in this place where we feel isolated. Yeah, we go out, and yeah, occasionally we find things like going to the store or doing whatever. We find it to be like this treat at times, that we get to go to the store, or we do something and we're like, oh, we get a little bit of human interaction. There are some people that are saying, I really enjoy not having this interaction. I really enjoy not having this time, where I have to do this, where I have to be around people and do this. But what happens, and that's okay, like, all of that is fine, but what happens is, it's when it starts to get to the point where you realize, like, okay, what's going to happen with this stuff that we have. And before we even get to that point, I would say, like, I'm not, and here's the thing, I went down this whole path on caves, and I just started, throwing together some research and stuff like that. And I shouldn't say research, but just start looking. And, there are times where caves have been a good thing. I look up animals, and I look up hibernation, and, for some, hibernation, and for bears, hibernation is a survival tactic. It's to survive without food for the winter. No, I'm not saying this is not like a tie-in or like a Jesus juke into fasting or whatever. I'm not doing that. But the thing is, for bears, like, the hibernation is it's survival. And so, yes, they live off of the fat of their body, and their body slows down. And it's almost like this time of survival through this time until, winter is over and they can wake up and go back to living their normal lives. It serves a purpose. But then there are some people that, or when you take a look, like, and I was looking up some biblical examples as well, because I guess as a youth pastor, I'm obligated to look up the Bible, because if I use just a regular example, it doesn't have the whole biblical feel to it. I'm kidding when I say that. But, and a lot of times people would hide in caves out of fear and out of worry and out of shame. And I was looking up an example, and it's in 1 Kings 19. And one of the examples that I looked up was when Elijah hid from God, and God found him and said, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" And that story just came to mind. And so it's this idea of, right now we're in a state of this, I shouldn't say hibernation, but we're in this state where basically we're in that cave environment, in that it's a home. It might be a place where we're at right now. But what my challenge and encouragement to you is to pick the right cave. What am I doing during this time? Now, with my friend, is the okay in regards to me or to the code? I'm just curious about the okay, because this was kind of something that hit me last minute, and I tried to put together as well worded as I could. I just want to make sure I'm making sense. I've been known to not make sense. Oh no, it's okay. So, during this time, and the reason why I said pick the right cave is, what are we going to be accomplishing during this time? During this time, and with my friend that said I could really look for a cave to hide in right now, the reason why it's been difficult is, my friend's been going through some stuff, and God has been showing them a lot, and they're in a relationship right now, and God is showing both of them some stuff, and it's just, and I'm not going into detail about this, but it's one of those where the desire is there to run away. And I know the feeling where when I'm confronted with some things I don't like, I'm like, no, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this. But in the presence of running away, and in the replacement of running away, they're actually running towards it and going, okay, God, Like, we're going to figure this out. And that's what I want to say with the whole thing about this, making sure it's the right cave. Like, what are we hoping to accomplish during this time? Is this time just a way where when we start to realize what God is inviting us to, or we have these opportunities to make time for God in our life and actually read our Bible and pray? Like, one thing that I've noticed is with this time, a lot of the common excuses that I would have for making time with God are gone. I don't have enough time. Well, I have things going on. Well, it gets busy. And here's the thing, I'm not saying it's not busy, but it's more of, okay, well, now that the excuses are gone, what's happening? At this point, am I running away, or am I going to tackle this head on? Am I preparing myself for the next season? Am I going to use this time to prepare myself for the next season? Because hibernation, like I said with the bears, it's not hiding for the winter because they can't handle it. It's there will be no food, so they are going into a mode of preparation for the next season so they can survive, and so they can be ready, make it through the season that they're in to get to the next season for them. And are we doing that? Are we fully taking advantage of that? Or are we making this a literal cave and going, I'm just going to sleep everything away. I am just going to hide from everything. I am going to run away from everything that's going on. Because here's one thing that I've noticed. Whether we choose to tackle it head on or whether we choose to run away from it, it'll be waiting for us one way or another. And this is an opportunity for us. And just think, the preparation we do now will prepare us for what happens in the future. Believe me, as a youth pastor, I totally get the whole idea of, man, I can't wait till we're meeting in groups and I can't wait till we do this. But one thing I don't want to lose is the connections that we've developed along the way. And so my thoughts for today with picking the right cave is, okay, like, you get to choose what cave you're in. Pick the right one. What are you going to tackle head on? What are you going to work on? Or what are you going to take advantage of? Or are you just going to sleep, run away, and distract the day away? Because in the long run, while it feels good in the moment, it actually is a lack of preparation, and you start to feel that shame. So my encouragement today, my message today is to pick the right cave. And so that is my thought for the day. Now, I did talk about launching a new contest. And the contest that I have will be it's going to be a video challenge in which I am going to pick 6 different subjects. And I'm going to be challenging students to capture video of each of these subjects. It could be a challenge. It could be something that we're asking you to do. But I will not release it here on YouTube. I will release it in text messaging and in social media. I will release it later this afternoon. I will be giving a week to do it, but it is a video challenge. And my challenge is how to figure out how to position the camera where you don't see too much back here, but you can still see my mouth because I feel like I'm hiding. But this is optimal for my voice, so this is what we'll go with. But that is what we're going to be focusing on. That is going to be our challenge for the week. But my challenge to you overall, the challenge that matters, is I challenge you to pick the right cave. Hibernate, recover, prepare, don't hide. And so I am taking a look at, let me see. I haven't yet, but I will. I haven't sent out any reminders yet. That is going to be before I launch it and send it out. So I will make sure that you can. So definitely, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Tomorrow, by the way, I did talk with our guest, Kristen. She is recovering. It's still a game time decision whether or not she's going to be, whether or not she will be here. She wants to do it. It's just depending on how she's recovering. It turned out that she has the flu. She got tested. It wasn't coronavirus. She did have the flu, and she is recovering, but she will be on at some point in time. So hopefully that's tomorrow. If not, we will have a backup guest. But either way, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Good luck to all of you in the challenges, and I look forward to hearing what God is showing you during this time. You are loved, you are amazing, and I hope that you all have a wonderful